Greetings from Ukrainian pacifist movement at the worldwide peace wave. Today, on 12th July, we celebrate the International Day of Hope. Our home planet and country is turned into hell by militarists, but we are determined to find peace between all living beings and our natural environment, to live sustainably in harmony and happiness. We hope to change the world by hard work and radical pacifist vision, because the world needs profound changes. Today's world spends hundreds times more on war than on peace. Result is the nightmare, tens of ongoing conflicts, devastating many countries, and humankind sits on the powder keg of obscenely monstrous nuclear stockpiles.
People are killed and cities are destroyed in Ukraine after the Russian invasion. People want peace but forced to fight for aggressor and for the defenders with arbitrary detentions and torture, with no respect to conscientious objectors. All of this happens because we were not prepared to prevent or stop aggression by non-violent action, and because the archaic war-making power of conscription is still not prohibited by international law. We live in a country of the nightmare that might come everywhere unless humankind will learn how to resist and abolish all wars and militarism. You could be forced to hide in shelter from rocket attacks during sleepless nights like we do. Your morning too could begin with awakening and seeing in the window smoke from fire in a destroyed house nearby. And you will be lucky if it's not your house that was ruined by a Russian ballistic missile. Your city could be occupied and you might be executed for slightest protest.
Your government, like Ukrainian and Russian governments, could start forcible conscription of population based on the idea that everyone should fight the war. You could be taken by force to a military unit and tortured if you refuse to abandon your pacifist beliefs and submit to a commander. There are hundreds of arbitrarily detained conscientious objectors in Ukraine and tens of recorded cases of torture and cruel treatment. In many cases, the objectors were sentenced to years in prison for alleged draft evasion and disobedience, but in fact for their pacifist religion or beliefs. Member of our Quaker Church and of Ukrainian pacifist movement, Alexander Ivanov is currently detained in a military unit, his mobile phone taken from him, to severe social contacts and break his will. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights and Council of Europe's Commissioner for Human Rights urged Ukraine to end human rights violations during conscription. There is no official reaction. If our government and army could do these abuses, and we are allies, when Russian government could do these abuses, and people tend to copy bad behavior of others in conflict, sooner or later your government and army might think they could do the same for victory at war at any cost. All of this could happen with you like it happened with us, because the world of violence is in a structural crisis. There were too many expectations for magic benefits of violence and deception that proved to be false. It is visible and obvious, so people could choose whether to be led by cruel manipulations or follow their conscience. Many people in Russia and Ukraine chose not to participate in war, and we urge you to support the Object War campaign aimed at ensuring the right to refuse to kill and provide asylum for objectors persecuted in their countries. For millennia, the best people on earth dreamt about the world without wars. The religious people prayed for the kingdom of heaven. Philosophers discussed perpetual peace. Scientists described hundreds of effective methods of nonviolent resistance to all sorts of oppression by aggressors or tyrants alike. There is no need to wage war, no need in armies, no need in nukes, no need in all the harmful militarist nonsense. However, it is not enough just to say that.
When you go for disarmament, you must propose a more effective response to war making than weapons, a peaceful response. And you should not deny the obvious threats of war making. You should not think, falsely apologize for aggressors, not for your own inaction in the face of their harmful behavior. Inaction is not an option when military dictator like Putin, both in the East and West, turn the world into hell, enthusiastically leading mass murder in the interest of war profits and weapons manufacturers who stand behind them. We need to resist all war everywhere, maintaining a resilient peaceful psychology. The resistance starts with critical thinking.
Don't be deceived by promise of Russian propaganda that multilateral sovereign anarchy of great powers will grow wonderful gardens of civilization states in their spheres of influence on the bones of dissidents, watered by blood of their enemies. It is the old hell, not the new world order, worthy to dream about. And there is no trust in the promise of American global primacy and NATO securing the democratic peace by the nukes aimed at very dictator's palace. It is ridiculous and dangerously naive.
If you read the book Pacifism Today, a dialogue about the alternatives to war in Ukraine, you will find many ideas on how people could resist aggression and occupation non-violently. Our best hope lies in the people's ability to pursue freedom and happiness through non-violent action, resisting all disinformation, manipulation, and cruel coercion.
When the militarist world order is in crisis, people could and should build a peaceful world based on shared humanity at the common planet, liberate Earth from sovereign anarchy shaped by wars and permanent cruel competition of great powers for domination and spheres of influence. Every individual and people in the whole have a right to live in peace, and this right entails a right to civil disobedience, to all war-making, that might be a powerful tool of popular nonviolent enforcement of requirements of the international law to resolve all disputes between the states peacefully in such frameworks of worldwide nonviolent governance as the United Nations. In the world where everyone will refuse to kill, there will be no wars. This is the best new world order, worthy to hope and to work for. Let's build together this new non-violent world.